Namaskar everyone and warm welcome to our Be Well, Stay Well series. And just a reminder to you that on your Zoom name, please put your country's initial. That can be very useful for us and for whoever the guest is, our guest speaker. And we welcome all our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Zoom. Of course, those of you on Zoom can participate directly, but those of you on YouTube or Facebook, you can as well if you leave your comments on the chat that is there. We'll pick it up. So in this series, it's entitled Conversations, Be Well, Stay Well Conversations. And here we speak to masters in the field of well-being and also experienced knowledgeable practitioners and therapists and guides. We want to speak to those who have transformed their lives through what they're doing and have become guides or practitioners or teachers in the field. Today we are honored to have with us someone who has studied extensively in the field of wellness, and what is remarkable about her is that she has covered different areas of medicine and focused on well-being, and both allopathic, which is a conventional medicine, and also alternatives or complementary. So we look forward to speaking with her. And that is none other than Dr. Raluca Kostaki. Her spiritual name is Diani, and she is the leader of our Blue Star group in Romania. Always with me on my trips there, been to Trinidad already, and also traveled with me in there. And it's always a joy having her around me because she also looks after my well-being. And she's very attentive to that. So I'm very happy that you've accepted our invitation. And why on Tuesday? Because she's available today. She's very busy, working long hours. But happily so, she says to me, I'm happy, Guruji, I love what I do. And that's why she would work long hours. And she's also a cancer survivor, taking an alternative route, and also she's a COVID survivor. And again, using the power of alternative therapies or complementary therapies, as well as the strength of modern medicine. So before we begin today, let's create that space in which we can really receive, and for our guest today, that she can really support us by giving the best of herself. So let's create a space of openness in the mind, open to receive. So let's observe the mental space and try to have or center in a calm mind. A mind that is open, receptive, intuitive. Just use the breath to settle down. Breathing out slowly and breathing in deeply with full lung breathing, using the belly to breathe, the chest, and lifting the shoulders back. You fill the upper lobes of the lungs as well, and empty them. Gently, completely, slowly. And use the power of breathing, which is also called pranayama, when we can really appreciate the pranic currents or energy currents or vital currents that drive the breath. And we can also appreciate the ability to bring prana through the breathing. Focus as well on the energies along the spinal column. As you breathe in, and focus as you breathe out on nourishing the body with the energies that you've tapped into as you breathe in. Channeling it into the body by focusing on the center line of the body at the front, nourishing the body cells as you hold them in your mental field. And let's take a moment to really appreciate the physical body. We use it constantly in the human experience to think. We think in the brain. We use the nervous system powerfully. We use the physical body and its ability to move and flex. We used the fueling system, digestive system. We ingest, digest, eliminate. It's an important system. Just stay in appreciation of your body. I have the little affirmation that I use. I love you, my body. You're God's gift to me, or nature's gift to me. I love you, my every cell. You're precious to me. I do it until it has become a lifestyle. Or I did it until it becomes a lifestyle. Now, as you center in that field, you feel stable at every level. Extend your field to all those who are with us today, just by focusing on the audience. You may not see people, those of you on Zoom, you may not see people on Facebook or YouTube, but certainly you can feel them, because once they're focused on what's happening here, their energies are in our field. So open your field to the collective audience that are focused on what we're doing today. And for the sake of universality, I will just chant the Om sound. The healing, the nourishing, and uplifting sound of Om. Just breathing out slowly and breathing in deeply. Shanti. 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 Thank you, everyone, for centering in this beautiful space in which we can begin. So once again, I want to warmly welcome Dr. Raluca Kostaki. I'll call her Dr. Diane in the program today. So Diane ji, welcome to our program. It's great to have you. And you've given us your bio, so you have quite an extensive field. And just for the sake that we may have new viewers today, would you just give us a little bit about your background? It's amazing how you've covered all these fields. And I may ask you a few questions afterwards on it. But please give us an idea of your background. So over to you.
Okay. Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar, dear Blue Star friend. So, yes, I have quite a journey in studying myself and develop myself, because I know deep inside that this is my destiny. This is my plan on this earth, just um, to be a support for healing. Yes, I am not healing anyone. Everyone is healing itself, but I can give a support. I can give the knowledge, what I have, and my experience, just to support each other to find their own way of healing. So this is my destiny, and I find it very young, because my mom is a medical doctor, and I grew up in hospital, and now I feel myself that I belong to this space of healing. So I become a medical doctor, and I studied medical university medical school in Bucharest, and then I made my specialty in internal medicine, another 6 years. So I have 12 years of studying the conventional medicine. And after a while, just before I met you and just before I came to Trinidad, I find out that the conventional medicine, it's not everything about healing in the world. And it is more about it, because the conventional medicine especially is specialized in treating the effects of the disease, but it's not concentrating about healing and treatment the base, yes, the causes of the disease. And I was so upset, and I said to myself that I cannot be a healer or medical doctor, because I don't know the cause of the disease.
So
And
that is when you met me?
yes, just before you met, I met you.
Wow.
In the year I met you. Yes, and I quit. I have a job in the main emergency hospital in Bucharest, the biggest emergency hospital in Bucharest, and I was a medical doctor there. But I feel deep inside that it is not the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life, just to write recipes and watching the people dying, and I can't do anything else, because I treat everyone with the same medicine and with the same thing that I was learning in my education, but the people didn't react the same way. So I said to myself that I must find out what is important, and that's why I start to find more things. So I met you, and you uplifted me. You somehow give me confidence that this is my way. And for a few years, I was started, and I tried to learn as much as I can in different areas, because I know that people are so different and they react to different things. And that's why I want to know what I can do. I know that I have more and more to learn about healing, and I'm open to do this. I'm still young, and so I can still learn. And I also became a psychotherapist. So I'm specialized in herbal medicine and treatment with bean and plant and aromatherapy. I'm specialized in Ayurveda and acupuncture. I also a specialist in ozone therapy, and of course, my passion is nutrition, um, because from my point of view, is the base of all healing, is the raw material that nourish our body. The body is a material thing, and it needs material thing to nourish him, our cells, of course. Prana, it's a beautiful way of nourishing ourselves. But we are born in a material world, full of material things. And that's why I love to talk, and I studied years about nutrition and how can we um, how can we prevent disease, and how can we deal with the disease from the nutrition point of view. And I studied also in USA, in San Diego, in California, at the Gerson Institute, the Gerson therapy, and I am a specialist in psychotherapy, and I'm specialized in relaxation and clinical hypnosis and the regression therapy, because I know that the worst disease is the disease of our soul and our consciousness. And you know this, and I know this from you. And I try to help people also from this point of view. And every time when I meet with a patient, I starting by talking about his body and his symptoms and what can we do. And we finish our discussion talking about soul and spirit and consciousness. And because it's very nice to see people how they open themselves. And first of all, they make blue big eyes looking at me like this, and they eventually agree with me and try to know more about these things. So this is me. I like to think that deep inside I'm a holistic healer, and I try to do my best to help anyone who claims me to ask me to help them.
Yeah, that's amazing, Danny, Chi. And the fact that you've covered almost everything that is important in the healing tradition. And starting from being inspired by your mom around hospitals and all that, and seeing the work that she has done. And I met your mom, beautiful soul, before she passed on. So it was such a joy to meet her. And I met your
No,
dad as well. Yeah.
my mom didn't pass away. My mom actually had COVID with me, and now my father
Oh,
passed away.
father passed away.
He's
Okay.
also, yes,
Yeah.
he's
Thank you for
also a
clarifying.
beautiful
Yeah.
soul. You met
Yes.
him. He was a teacher, and
Yeah.
I love him very much. I still love him because he's with me. I feel his presence in everything that I'm
Beautiful,
doing.
beautiful,
So
beautiful. Yeah. So since you've covered holistic healing, and you said you started with people talking about the bodies and end up speaking about the soul, and of course, being a disciple of mine, you've also experienced the inner world, and so you know of the potency of the spiritual part of us to create disease, and through ignorance and through the mind, limited mind. And you also know what lifestyle can do in terms of disease, and what infection from the environment can do in terms of disease. So we can have disease because of the way we think. We can have disease from our poor lifestyle, and we can have disease from infections around us. But also that the body has a natural immune system to help us to fight disease, and we should be trying to help to maintain that immune system at its best, optimal level, or to boost it. And there are many things that we can do, and of course you're an expert in the field, and we look forward to hearing about that. But I want to focus on your thoughts, first of all, seeing that you have covered the spectrum of healing. In terms of the spirituality, let me start with this one, because I believe that the root of healing is in spirit. That if our spirit is powerful, it can actually be a very potent force in terms of healing. And some of us, we can just, through spirit alone, we can lift the whole being. We can lift the physical back into transformation. We can lift the mind and lift the emotional being and live an incredible life simply through the power of spirit. And some of us, we don't have that power. It's not so easily accessible. And then we have to depend on psychotherapy, for example, being able to be treated in the mind, and also emotional support from therapists, bringing our emotions back to where it should be. And then even if you cannot manage the mental part of us or the emotional part of us, then we need the physical part of us. We need to operate through the physical. But seeing the holistic nature of us, then for some of us, when we are not best in any particular area, then we can use the holistic concept of the spiritual side of us, the mental side of us, the emotional side of us, and the physical side of us. So they're all important components of the whole. And that's how I treat with it. And you having gone through disease, infectious disease like COVID, and you've gone through internal disease of the cancer, and you've seen disease being a medical doctor, because they're very focused on disease, and it's prevention. Not prevention, but dealing with, treating with disease. So what would you say to the whole idea of using the holistic concept, first of all, before we target different areas, but the whole holistic concept, how important is that in helping to stay well, to be well and stay well?
I think that holistic way of approaching our wellness is the only right way, because I learned from you and I feel deep inside of me that we are not this body, but this body is pursuing our soul, and of course our mind, the product of our consciousness. So it is the only way that we can respond to the challenge of this world. Our material body is responding to the challenge of the life, of this planet. We are living, as I said, we are living in this world, in this material world, and the body is our material part. So it responds to any challenges. But it's not only responding, it is not only affecting. It knows itself how to heal itself, and I will show you a little bit later. And our immunity, it's our army, it's our defense army. So it is not given to us by chance. Anything in our body is there by chance. It has its own role, and the mind is the perfect instrument for each part of us. So that's why in all my workshops, I try to make people understand, first of all. I don't give them the recipe of the solution of everything they have. I just try to make them understand, and if they understand that, if we understand what is happening with us, where are our strengths and our weaknesses, we can make good choices. Otherwise, it is very hard for us.
So that's brilliant. So I want to stay with that. The fact that we should know ourselves, understand what is happening with us. Because when we don't, chances are we can continue to make mistakes. So understanding ourselves is extremely important. That's why I have this series, because it's more about education as to who we are at every level. You studied functional medicine, German medicine. And I know that that's where emotional patterns play a relationship in disease, and every disease has some kind of emotional component to that. Tell me what you got out of studying German medicine and how it has changed your practice.
It's very important for me, because actually make the connection between psychotherapy and what I'm doing like a psychotherapist and what I'm doing like a medical doctor. I understand more why only giving pills or only make allopathic treatments, people don't get well, not all of them. And studying German
So let
medicine,
me let me let me take that point a little bit. So all people may not get well using allopathic medicine.
no, no. From
Right.
my experience, no,
Right. So we can take the same prescription for the disease or the pill
of course.
um, or whatever it is, but we may not get better. So tell us.
No. And in the same way, I have a lot of patients, they are vegan or raw vegan, and they have a lot of disease like cancer or liver disease. And that's why it is not everything just to be right in what you are eating and what pills do you take. It is very important to be attentive to your mind, to your feeling, to your emotion.
Okay, so
Because
I want to stay with that too. I think that's important. So you're saying that we may eat all the good food, but that's not the most important thing. There are other things that are important.
yes, because our well-being is a puzzle. It makes by little bricks, by bricks, by bricks. It is not one big thing. And we must be attentive to every brick that builds our wellness and well-being. And food is one thing. It is important thing, of course, but it's not everything, yes? And our state of mind, of course, it's important, but it's not everything. And our training and physical activity, it's important, but it's not everything. So that's why I wanted to
So
study different parts.
let me ask you a question here because it's coming to my mind. So can we make food toxic, good food toxic, by our thinking and emotion?
Of course, I don't know if we can make food
Well,
toxic. Of course we can, because you know I know the study of Masaru Emoto. Yes, Masaru Emoto studied the way of water, how it's crystallized. So the water, we are more than 70% water. So if water is responding to feelings and state of being, of course, our entire body is responding to these things. So it is unquestionable, this thing. So I think that German new medicine is focused by our brain, so it's a material thing, but our brain, during its development, yes, uh, stay connected with our body at all levels. And everything that affects our brain affects our different part of our bodies,
So
yes?
you're saying that
And
our thought process, our thinking process, influences every other aspect of being.
of course, for sure. And the intensity of this thought, the duration, how long are all these things, it's very important things. So all these things, it's like a mirror in our body, in our different part of our body. And let's give an example. For example, if we have no low self-esteem, yes, if we have a little self-esteem, so we may have a problem with our skin, yes. But if we are deeper in our low esteem, we can affect our bones and our joint, for example, and that's all. So it's very interesting and very challenge to know all these things and make the connection and try
So,
to.
so what did you learn from German medicine that actually helped you? In,
Well, I learned that I must heal my past traumas, because everyone, we are passing through this life, and we are not blessed from the beginning our life with a guru. We don't know a guru from the beginning our life with, so we accumulate a lot of traumas inside of us, and these traumas inside of us reflect in the well-being of our body. So it's very important to heal all aspects of our lives, all aspects, not only heal our gut or heal our liver. We must heal also our let's say, emotions like stress that is connected with our gut, and heal our fears that is connected with our liver. And that's all.
Yeah.
On and on.
So if you were to sum up the aim of German medicine, what would you say?
It's the brain-body connection.
Right.
Study the brain-body connection.
All right.
And how you can use brain in stimulate the healing of your body.
Now, I want to focus on the body now. So the physical body, I always say, is a gift from nature to us. It's nature that brought this body into form. And that we enter this body as a soul, and we operate the body, we use the body. It's extremely important to understand the body, first of all, and to feed it right, because everything we put into it goes through a chemical process and gets into our bloodstream, influences the well-being of the body. So when we think of food and how impactful food is to the body, it influences our vitality, it influences the way we think, it influences the way we feel, it influences the function of the body at every level, so hence our activities as well. I know it's important to be careful with what we put in the body, to be knowledgeable about how the digestive system works and keeping that really working powerfully, like in Ayurveda, how we speak about the detoxing and also getting a strong agni or fire of digestion. Yeah. So, so keeping clean bodies, even though we go through this whole process of digestion and elimination and ingestion, but keeping clean bodies, keeping it detox as much as possible. Wouldn't you say that's an extremely important thing to be able to do? To be able to maintain a body that has the least amount of toxins in it. What would you say to that?
It's great because actually our body is equipped. It's every cell has all the things that it needs to clean itself, to detox itself. Actually, everything that our cells body are doing are three things in this order. First of all, they transform the nutrients in energy at the level of mitochondria. All we are eating, drinking, thinking at the level of our cells in our mitochondria, they are nuclear centrals, thousands of nuclear
know that you have your PowerPoint presentation as well that you can use anytime, right?
Yes, if you want, I can share at some point. I will talk about.
You can, okay. If you wish to bring it in to just illustrate your point a little more graphically, you can do that.
Okay, I will share the presentation. Okay, so this is nutrition and immunity. And this is my background. Okay, and just talk about immunity a little bit. So the immunity system, it's our defense army, like I said to you, and that's why the organs that are implicated in doing these cells of immune cells are everywhere in our body, starting from our mouth, yes, the tonsils and adenoids here, and then the thymus, it's a very important gland, very powerful in children until 14 years, and then the lymph nodes, and of course the digestive system, very, very much involved in our immunity with the spleen and appendix, and also at the level of our small intestine are special structures that are called the pyre structures, and they build up the immune cells. And of course our bone marrow. So you see the immune system, it's made everywhere in our body because we need this army to defend ourselves. And we have also an innate immunity. We are born with a lot of things that, with a lot of organs that create immunity, but also we acquire immunity during our life. All the infections that we are dealing, create in our body new structures, new soldiers to fight with that disease. So the immune system is a very complex system. It's not something that we can put only a finger on it, just like the liver, or it's everywhere in our body. So we have different cells that are involved in the immune system, and the antibodies that we are know because now we are talking a lot about antibodies against COVID infection, and antibodies a lot against all these things. So the antibodies are structure of our immune system. They are protein structure of our immune system, and they actually attach to different parts of the viruses. This is a coronavirus, yes, and those are our antibodies. They attach to the structure of the virus, and they don't permit the virus to attach to the receptors of our cells and come through our cells to the membranes of our cells. And also we have other cells like B cells and T cells, greater cells that eat, let's say, all the cells that are ill, or all the things that are not normal in our body. So the antibodies are the part of our disease, our defense system, our immune system. And now, just to make some clear about the antibodies in COVID, you know, the IgM and IgG, there are two types of antibodies. And if you do a test, a rapid test, you look about the antigen, the antibodies. If you think that you have a disease, you had a disease, or you have a vaccination, or you go through the disease, at the end of the disease, you must check your antibodies and see how your body reacts. So it's important to have a good health in your body, because your body needs all the things that you offer him, the good nutrition, the good state of mind, a good hydration, because he has to work. Your body needs to create these antibodies. First of all, it creates the IgM antibodies. It is in the first part of the infection, the first week of the infection, and then these IgM antibodies drop on and increase the other antibodies, the IgG antibodies, who it is meant to stay in our blood for the rest of our life and protect ourselves to another infection. So this is the result of a rapid test for antibodies. And if you had through the infection in the first week, this is the C, this is the control mark, and you have both the IgG and IgM, or if you are at the beginning of the disease, you have only IgM, or if you have you just pass through the infection, you have the IgG. So this is about immunity. So fears wakens our immune system. It is a physical thing, it's a material thing what they do. So fears actually activate at the level of our brain the structure in it, who activate a gland, a suprarenal gland. They are in the top of our kidneys. And this gland produces a lot of hormones like cortisols and adrenaline and noradrenaline. And this kind of hormones are pro-inflammatory hormones, and they destroy the immunity cells. So it is a material thing. It's not about. It is not a psychotherapy thing. Stress, it's the worst thing that we do to ourselves. It's create the same thing that create if you light up a bulb in the eyes of a deer. It remains staring at you, even though you are in a car and you will kill him. It's the same thing with our immunity system. Yes. And the stress is like our bulb, our lighting bulb, who just distress our immune system. And what are the most important things that affect our immune system? Of course, what we are eating is very important. the junk food that you all know about it, is the quality of our water. I just said before that we are 70–80% water, and we need good water to drink and to hydrate ourselves. The pollution, we cannot do nothing about it, and unfortunately, and also stress, as I mentioned. And the signs, what are the signs that we have a poor immune system? So if we have frequently respiratory infections, we have frequently skin infections, allergies, increased fatigue, delayed healing of our wound, inflammation in our lymph nodes. All these are signs of a poor immune system. And what is the connection between our immune system and our gut? It's a very strong connection, because our gut it's so special. It is said to be our third brain. Yes, this our second brain. Sorry, our second brain, and it is very populated with a lot of microbes, good microbes for us. And if our gut is inflamed, I will tell you later why we can inflame our gut. If our gut is inflamed, the cells of our gut become permeably, yes, to all the things that are inside our gut, and it actually must go out from our system through our stool. But because our gut is inflamed, it creates a space between the cells that lies on the layer of our gut. And all these things, little pieces, microscopic pieces of what we're eating or microbes, came through the gut and enter in our bloodstream, and there go everywhere in our system. Yes, and that's why a healthy gut, it's like a barrier, a good barrier stopping all these things happen. Okay, so what are the things that affect our tract, of our digestive disease? Is first of all flour with the gluten. Gluten is the most pro-inflammatory substance. Gluten is actually the protein of all the cereals, and it is a pro-inflammatory, like I said. 80% of whole population, world population, is sensitive to the gluten, even though little part of it have the disease called celiac disease, but 80% are sensitive to the gluten. So we have a sensitive gut, because we appear on this planet 4 or 5 million ago, and in that time we don't eat cereals, and our system is built up to eat, digest, and use the things that it is built for. So cereals enter in our food history, feeding history, only 10,000 years ago, and now it's very genetic modified. So another thing that it is worse for our digestive system and produce inflammation, and that's why weaken our immune system, is sugar. Raw sugar. Sugar, it's a very addictive substance, and actually it impacts our brain. Alzheimer's disease and are called today the diabetes type 3, and because the levels, the sugar levels in our brain, it's high, it destroy our neurons. Yes, very important is the way that we cook our meat. So I don't recommend to fry the things, just boil or make it to the grill, but not fried, and be very attentive to the teflons. Yes, the dishes that have teflons, because teflon heated at high temperature, more than 200 degrees, it creates a lot of smoke, toxic smoke. And if you have a parrot near the pan you cook, the Teflon pan you cook, you will, or little birds, are actually dying if they put them near the Teflon. Another things that causes digestive tract disease are medical things, medical pills, yes, chemical things that attack our digestive, also the stress and insomnia, very, very important. So let's talk about our body that is perfectly designed and equipped to heal itself. And I have two examples here. If we by chance, I don't know by chance, unfortunately, broke a leg, broke our leg, so we go to the specialist, to the orthoped, and the orthoped just align the bones and immobilize the bones with different types of equipment, and say to us, just return in 3 weeks or 1 month and we will see how you recovered. But in this period of time, not the doctor healed ourselves. We did. Our body healed itself. So let's take the example of the fracture. The body creates a lot of vessels, arterial vessels near the fracture, put in this a lot of cells, bring a lot of cells, and bring a lot of substance like calcium and silicium, and then become the bone is recovered. Yes, and it's so good. The body knows exactly what to do, and because if we put the same pressure in the same part of our body in the future, the body will not, the bone will not broken in the same place. It will broken up or down, but not on the same place. So our body knows to heal itself. It's the same thing with injuries. If we go to the hospital because we have an injury or we suffer a surgery, the surgeon just sweep up all the layers of our body and put and wait for the body to heal itself. Yes, and the body started to heal from down, from the bottom to the surface, and create at the level of our skin a special tissue, a cicatricial tissue, and this tissue is so strong that the surgeon knows if they have to intervene in the same part of our body on the same tissue. The tissue cannot be taken off with the knife. It always taken off with the seizure. So it's very, very, very good. So what food are very good for increase our immune system? Of course, plant-based food. Plant-based food means all the things fresh fruit, raw food we can take with different colors of fruit. Of course, juices are very important because juices are very quickly absorbed at the level of our mouth and go quickly in our system. It's a lot of vitamins and minerals in the juice. And of course, there are good seeds, nuts and seeds that bring us the lipid, the oil that we need. The oil are essential for building our cells, and also it's very anti-inflammatory, the lipids. So don't neglect the omega-3. Omega-3, if you eat fish, it's okay, or you can take it from lean, for example. So what I suggest is to have at least 60% of all you eat must be vegetable and fruits in different colors, in the colors of the rainbow, and very rich in fibers. And also 50, I recommend to eat them 50% cooked and 50% raw, not only raw, because we are not equipped, our digestive system is not equipped for eating only raw things. And drinking a lot of water, hydrating ourselves, it's very, very important. It's also important how and when we eat, because we must give time to our body to detox itself and rebuild, recover. I said previously that our cells know to do 3 things, and in this order. first of all, it's transformed all the things that we eat, drink in energy. There are actually these little organite, little structure in our cells, thousands of it in our cells. They are called mitochondria, and at the level of this little nuclear central, all the food and drink is transformed in energy molecule that are called ATP, adenosine triphosphate molecule, and all the all the things that are built up in our cells, all the metabolism are using this energy. So first of all, we transform at the level of our cells or what we bring in energy just to function. Yes. And after we make this, our cells must clean itself, because this raw material for the energy is not so good. It have a lot of things not so good for us. Yes, the oxidants in our cells, and our cells clean up. Yeah, so detox every minute. And the third thing that they do, if they have time and if they have energy, they recover, they rebuild ourselves, they heal itself. So we have this knowledge. We have to do what we have to do is to provide our body and our cells everything that we know and we can do, just to permit them to heal itself. So our body heal itself. That's why what I suggest is have an intermittent fasting, once 2 days or 3 days, or a prolonged fasting for a longer period of time, one day, 1 month, every month 1 day, or 3 days every 3 months of not eating. What is that means, the fasting? It's a period of time where we are not eating, so we don't put in our body solid food, even not juices, only water, clean water, water and tea, herbal teas. Yes, and in this period of time, our digestive system is retired. Yes, and it's not consumed, because our digestive system consumes a lot of energy. We have 8 meters of intestines. The surface of the intestines and our digestive system is very, very large, like a football play ground. Yes, and all this system, the digestive system, has secreted a lot of juices and work. Every time we put something in our mouth, our digestive system is working and consume a lot of energy. So that's why we need a space. We must give our digestive system a break, and permit our body to use the energy to heal itself. So I recommend 16 hours of fasting and just 8 hours of eating. If you cannot do it every day, so you can do 14 hours of not eating, or you can do it the fasting, the intermittent fasting, once 2 days or 3 days. It's very important to eat with small portions and eat very slowly. Why is it important? Because our mouth is part of our digestive system. Our saliva have a lot of enzymes, and our digestive process begins in our mouth. So we must chew what we are eating very, very good until it becomes like a pasta. Yes, it becomes more liquid than solid. And after this, you can swallow. Yes, your what you are eating. And also, it's very, very important to enjoy what you are eating. Yes, because you are not eating, you are not feeding only with your mouth. You're feeding with the whole system, with whole your whole body. So, from my point of view, the food is the fuel of our life. The food is nutrition. Is not something that we cancel it with. Unfortunately, a lot of people use food not for nourish itself, just to not be bored or not be sad. They eat. If you are bored, they eat. If they are sad, they eat. If they are angry, they eat. If they are tired, they eat. And eat all kinds of food. But they don't realize that the food is actually nutrition. It's the fuel of our life. And you need self-awareness of these things. And you must feel the joy of eating and the joy to make the food your nutrition is the sustaining of your body, yes? And it's also the gift of your planet and the gift of the universe. And I always said to the people that you must respect and love your food because you must respect yourself and love yourself. Well, it is very important also to sleep well. Yes, it's very important because during the sleep time, every night when you sleep 6 to 7 hours, you take this break, you give this break to your body, and your body during this time have the time to detox and recover itself. And for a good sleep, I have some tricks and tips. So first of all, 2 hours before getting to bed, you don't argue, you don't watch computer, you don't talk to the phone. So you are completely aware of yourself and you relax during this time. You eat a light dinner like soup. I recommend soups for dinner. You take a good bath and relax yourself and then sleep in totally darkness and not noise for the whole night. So this is my presentation for today. I know that I didn't cover all the aspects, but I let you to discover more about yourself. I just wanted to give some clues about the immune system and your whole body and make you aware that your body is it's a great gift, like Guruji said to us. It's a perfect gift. It knows itself how to heal itself and to support our soul in this journey. Because like Guruji said, we are not this body. We are souls living in this body. But we have to take care of this body because this is the perfect vehicle for our soul. And without our body, we cannot continue our journey.
Thank you so much, Dani. That is beautiful. And I love your excitement and aliveness in the teaching of it and educating us. Amazing. So I'm going to open the floor now to our viewers who can ask you questions based on what you've presented today. So let's open the space now to our viewers and to take questions. So please raise your hand. It's been an exciting presentation for me so far, helping me to understand the body and the things that we need to do and the things that we shouldn't do. And I know that she's a practitioner also, not just telling us this, but her own life has been a result of practices.
Did you say?
I think that it has been quite complete in itself. If there's clarification for any area that you may need, or if you have any questions regarding what you are going through that you feel that she can help you in, please, we can all learn from it.
Okay. So we have...
so go ahead, Dayaniji. So let's take Ben Lakshmana from Holland.
Namaskar. Namaskar, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. I would like to know, should we have a vaccine against COVID or should we rely on our immune system and make it stronger? Because I'm already doing most of the things that you're recommending, and we have the option now, both. What is
Yeah.
the best thing to do?
So, I said in my presentation that we build our immune system when we come in contact with viruses. So the only way that we can we can achieve immunity is to be in contact with this virus. Even it is an infection like I did, so I have a natural immunization, let's say it. I test my antibodies monthly and check up the level of my antibodies, or we can create a vaccine. So the good things about immunity is if we have a good immunity, and of course we don't be in touch with thousands of viruses, yes, millions of viruses, I don't know what to say. We pass through infection without symptoms or with light symptoms, but we achieve immunity. If we have not a very good immunity, or our immunity is imbalanced by other disease, we get a hard time during the COVID infection.
Yeah.
So if we want to skip this part of having a hard time, we have to do vaccination. So from my point of view, the vaccination, not from my point of view, for what I understand and what I write and what I know, the vaccine it stimulates our immune system to create the antibodies. Yes, there are different kinds. We are not talking now about the RNA or other kind of vaccines. Yes, but this they are doing. They stimulate our body to create antibodies. Yes, but if our body it isn't strong enough to create antibodies, it is a hard time for us. Yes, and what the COVID-19 infection does, from my experience, it brings to the surface all the disimbalance that we have in ourselves. So a lot of people discovered during the infection that they have diabetes, or they have liver disease, or they have something in their heart. A lot of people remain with high blood pressure and liver insufficiency. I had a moderate to severe form of COVID-19 because I'm a medical doctor and I work all this time and I come in contact with a lot of people, and I have attention, but not, of course, the virus find myself. And I have the worst time of my life. It was worse than cancer, because during the cancer, I didn't felt anything, yes. But during the COVID-19 infection, I was helpless. For a few days, I was helpless, and it was just a moment when I said that it's all that I have to do in this life, and I will take my chance another time. But it is not a problem. For all time, I was stable I was trusting in myself, my inner self, and I trust Guruji, and I always connected with him, and he gave me strength and find my strength inside of me. But it wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy at all. And after the infection, I remained with a level of liver insufficiency and renal kidney insufficiency, but now it's better and better and better. And what I recommend is to make vaccination, because it is our chance to don't pass through this infection, because we don't know what is ended. And the new times, so the only thing that the whole planet defeat this infection is to have immunity, yes? At least 70% of the people. And this immunity is taken by vaccine or through infection. So we don't have other choice in this moment. So if you ask me what kind of vaccine, no.
We don't have a choice in which vaccine we get, but I'm suffering from depression and insomnia, so maybe that would be better than to get a vaccine, not to go to the trouble.
Yes, I think it's better for you if you have these things, because the insomnia and depression lower your immune system.
Okay, yeah.
For sure. So get a vaccine. The adverse effects are not so, the media put them to the sky, but they are actually not so worse comparing to the worst things that COVID do, and the level of and how many people do this.
Okay. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Lakshmana. And we go to the other hand that was up, and I think that was Yandev. Oh, I don't see any hands. Yeah?
I answered already, probably.
Yeah,
it was the same
could be.
question.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, namaskar, everybody.
Namaskar.
I've got a question. The last few weeks, I'm having some trouble with my intestines, with my digestion. I don't think I really changed my diet. I think I eat quite healthy. But when I eat, immediately my intestines, it feels like they protest against the food. It hurts, and it feels like more air is coming in my intestines, but it feels like also like needles. I don't know. Is that because of stress? Because of
I don't know the level of your stress, and I don't know actually what you are eating. Probably, I don't know. I just speculate. It is also, if I don't, so our body is different every minute of our life. In every minute of our life, we are, part of our cells is dying, and part of our cells is born. Yeah, it's a newborn cells. So you are not the same person now that you were 1 day ago, 1 week ago, or 1 year ago. So it's a new model. You are the model 2021 right now, like cars. And probably, I don't know, even though you eat the same diet, if they are accumulating in your body and in your gut, the little parts of toxic things, it is possible to affect this right now. So from my point of view, if you eat gluten or if you eat sugar, you must take it off right now. Yes, just concentrate and make this fasting, intermittent fasting. It's very important, just to clear your system. Yes, give your body the time to heal itself. Yes, a lot of water, hydrate yourself, and make an intermittent fasting. Just try it.
All right, thank you, I will.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Yandev, and thank you, Dayanuchi. Any more questions from any of you? I see Dr. Jenny Rouse, Trinidad. Over to you, Jenny.
Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And I say this because of all the information that has been out there since this pandemic began, all new to all of us. I was so grounded in my intuitive knowledge of me on me, and it reinforced my responsibility to this instrument, which I always knew it was. But you, this morning, are the first person in the form of a guide or an instrument to this knowledge that has finally penetrated that resolve that I had, that I don't need this vaccine. Not because I felt 100% pure and nothing will happen to me. It wasn't that cocksureness. It was more that because of the responsibility, the dedication to what I'm doing over so many years, I figured the acumen of all of that would have made me fortified. However, I'm looking now at your information in context of aging, because I am nearly 70. And so when you go up the chain, because I teach it and I live it, I know that the body's natural processes all slow down. That comes with aging. And therefore, there are certain elements that will be compromised and challenged because they will have to put so much more energy, you know. So it is through that portal that I listened, and a catching bell went off. And so I feel now more comforted that I can do this. And the question is just, why not? You know, why not?
Of course.
Not in a flippant way, but why not? Give it a try,
Well,
because I have the resilience and the determination that irrespective of what maybe, because I would take the flu shot. I took the flu shot 3 times, but that expires in a year. So I juxtapose that to what you presented and say, well, if I can do that, why not?
yes,
So I will
yes,
go on that guidance, because your presentation was very well, together with Dr. Gupta's. I blended the two, you know, and I think I'm in a good place that I could give it a try.
Yes, it's so nice. Thank you so much for your appreciation. And it's very important for the people at the age of wisdom. We are at the age of wisdom, yes. It's very important to take care of our body, and our body have special needs at this age. So we need a little bit of proteins, good proteins, because our body, our cell body, are dying more frequently, let's say, than when we are younger people. And we need the material to build it up. So what I suggest, what I recommend is to eat good proteins and take care of the protein intake. Yes, everyday protein intakes. Even they are seeds or they are legumes like beans, or if you can eat once or twice a week some fish, just 100 grams, not more than this. It's great, but take care of your body because it is a beautiful age, and we can now experience and share all our experience and knowledge with the others. We are wiser, like I said, and it is our duty to stay longer on this earth and give to others all the knowledge that we have.
Wow, thank you so much, Energy. Thank you, Dr. Rouse.
Thank you.
And let's go to, I think it's Jayalakshmi.
Namaskar? Hearing me? Okay, namaskar everyone. Thank you, Doctor, for your beautiful presentation. It really was a big help. The vaccine, there's a back and forth as to should we or should we not. So it's really nice to hear different views. I have 2 questions. Someone who has COVID and has suffered lung damage as a result is hospitalized. We're hoping and praying he will make it. He's a doctor also. Can you give advice as to aftercare, should they come out of it, having had that lung damage, as to how to heal?
Okay. So first of all, lungs are very special structures and provide us air, yes, oxygen from the air. So we must provide a lot of air and breathing techniques. So the medical doctor, not only spiritual masters, knows now that one of the important part of the recovery when you have a lung disease is breathing techniques. And breathing techniques, it's the field where Guruji is the master. So breathing techniques is one of the most important things, yes? And then take care of the pollution. Where do you breathe is very important. It's not enough to breathe, but where do you breathe? What kind of air do you put in your lungs? So Trinidad is a wonderful place. It's my second place. And I know the forest and I know the ocean. So breathe near the ocean or breathe in Tapovan, and it will be a truly healing of the lungs.
Okay, and thank you. And one more thing. So, say I have been exposed, and there's a chance of mine getting the COVID now. So, I'm in that incubation period and feeling that maybe little throat issues coming on. What can I do in terms of diet or breathing system now? I mean, I do yoga, breathing, I do everything. What can I do? Can I prevent that, or what do I do to prepare for it?
Well, the first thing that you can do is bring a lot of vitamin C in your system. That is fresh fruits, yes, juices of fresh fruits. A lot of limes you have there. I miss the limes from Trinidad, and papaya. And you can eat a lot of fruits and great vegetables. Also, so a lot of vitamin C is very important. Ginger is very good, and drinking ginger tea with honey is very good for your system and prevent a lot of things that it will come. And then day by day, breathe a lot and do yoga, and breathing exercise will help you to build up your immune system. Stay clear of stress and focus on yourself, and everything will go smoothly.
Yeah, thank you, Jayalakshmi, and thank you, Dayanuji. And let's go to the next person, and yeah, it's Fernando. Fernando. Yeah, speak, Fernanda. Are you still muted?
Well, I have a question until Fernanda comes in.
Yeah,
a question
certainly.
from the chat. Oh, no. Fernanda asked, I would like to know how long the natural antibodies from the COVID-19 virus last. This is a great question. It's the question of everything it's trying to answer, and we don't know. The answer is we don't know. It's a brand new infection, and we don't know. We still learn and we still make studies. From what they know and what we know until now, the antibodies are staying at the protective level for at least 3-4 months and go to 6 months. So that's why I check up my antibodies monthly. And I'm 3 months away from my COVID infection, and still my antibodies are very high. Actually, I can donate plasma for the people who are need my antibodies, so I can share my antibodies to other people. So we don't know. The answer is we don't know. That's why there are talks about have the third vaccine, not only the vaccine and the rapid, but have the third vaccine. And from what I'm thinking, we will do vaccination every year, like we do for the flu. And I hope there are studies to make the one vaccine for flu and COVID, and that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Dayanuji. So we have another hand up, and that is, yeah, go ahead. You can, yeah.
Yes, hello, namaskar, Guruji and Dr. Raluca. Thank you for the
Namaskar.
wonderful presentation. And I've had a condition in my life where I'm severely reactive to wheat. When I was a child, no one knew. I was often had stomach aches. And then in my 20s, as I grew up, realizing that when I had stressful moments, I couldn't eat, birthday cake, I couldn't eat different things. And I was a teacher, and teaching became very difficult during stressful times of the year. And I developed a spastic colon, and I tried everything medically, apart from taking heavy pain medication, which made me not alert while teaching, and sleepy. Which teaching high school is not very easy to do, half asleep. And eventually I met a naturopath, and she said, she dared me. She said, I could cure you in a few weeks, or 6 weeks. So she took me off everything that could cause allergies or reactions. And I said, thank you very much for saving my life. And then she said, I'm going to, no, now we're going to test foods. She had given me a simple rice diet with very little irritating things. And then I said, no. She says, yes, we have to. You can't eat this restricted diet the rest of your life. So we discovered the biggest culprit was wheat. We took wheat out, and the rest of my life was better. However, even if I'd been living without wheat for 20 years, I occasionally would mistakenly eat some, or, there are so many hidden, and I have to be alert all the time. And so I do get them. And with different naturopaths, I've been working with anti-inflammatory diets, and they've been working. And now as I'm aging, I'm turning 65 this August, I'm becoming more susceptible. I had a pancreatic attack a few years ago. I had gallbladder removed, so I cannot eat cheese, dairy products. And I mistakenly ate some during the 40 days, and it gave me real good testing. And with Guruji's help, focusing on healing, and of course healing my spirit, my mind, my soul, I also want to support. And I became a patient of Dr. Gupta's 2 weeks ago, so that's helpful with my. So I'm continuing this journey of healing my digestive disorders, and hopefully in this lifetime will be healed. And I want to know what you may suggest to supplement. My biggest problem is, as Dr. Gupta says, vata imbalance, lots of air. And I noticed with this one day during the 40 days, we did a lot of pranayama. 3 different people presented. So Dr. Gupta said, well, was it very dynamic pranayama? And he said, yeah. And it was that night that the reaction with the cheese. Anyhow, so working with balancing the doshas and balancing, and keeping good lifestyle. But my biggest challenge is probably routine. I'm not very good at sleeping at early hours, getting nutritious meals. Well, I eat nutritious meals, but not on a regular, I try to stay on a routine. So that's my challenge, and I want to know if there's anything you can enlighten me or support or suggest today.
So, thank you for sharing us all your experience. So, from my point of view, challenges in our life are really gifts, because we have the chance to grow. If we are challenged, we have the chance to grow, to learn more, to find out the people who can help us. So it is very important to have challenge in your life. So look how many things you learn up about yoga and Ayurveda, and about nutrition, a lot of things. So it's very important. I didn't speak nothing about dairy because it's another subject. From my point of view, dairies are very, very special nutrients, and we must be very careful in eating them. It's a combination of sugar and lipids, oils like lactoses, yes, and also the casein, that is the protein. And it is a little bit hard for our system to digest dairies, especially raw milk. I don't recommend to anyone raw milk, except if they are very, very ill and they cannot eat nothing else but milk. So the thing that I just wanted to suggest it is to abandon dairies from your diet. And the other things is to eat raw vegetables, not in huge quantities, just a little part of raw things, very colorful, just to rebuild your microbiome. So your microbiome is the totally of your microbes, good microbes in your gut, and they are actually the soldiers of your gut. You must rebuild them, strengthen them, take care of constantly making the stool every day, go to the toilet every day, just to flush all your intestine. So hydration is very important also. Hydrate yourself very often, yes, and try to read every label of the food you get it, because gluten is in everything. It is in all sauces that they are put. Yes, they put gluten. They are in burgers. Everything they have to glue up, yes, and become sticky, have gluten or amidon in it. So be very, very careful. From my point of view, potatoes are not good for you because they are high in amidon, and amidon is a carbohydrate. It's very sticky to our gut, so no potatoes. Only vegetables, fruit vegetables, half cooked, half raw, but eat also raw. If you cannot eat, just drink the juices, yes, from that kind of stuff, and have little portion, little meals, not big meals, just little portions of your meals. Your meals must be no longer that you can put in your in two hands like this, yes, just like this. It is the side of your stomach, and just eat in little portions, and take care of enzymes, digestive enzymes. So the supplement that I recommend is digestive enzymes, and also because you said that you have also pancreatic disease, and the pancreatin, this is a disease, the main disease, the main enzymes put in the system excreted by the pancreas is very important for digestion. So take supplements with digestive enzymes, and take supplements like Jarodophilus that are a microbiome, just to rebuild your microbiome. Yes, just rebuild and don't eat nothing else but rice or mice, yes, not nothing else from cereals.
Okay, so thank you very much. And I think we have come to the end of our questions. Yeah, so we're going to close our session here today, and with very much gratitude to Dr. Dayani for being present and for giving us so much information, educating us, and giving us possibilities and practices. So I'm going to close it here. Thank you, Dr. Dayani. Any last words to us? Anything that you would like to say before we close?
I just want to thank you all for being here with me. I nourished myself with your presence.
Oh, I like that.
And I just want to thank you, Guruji, for this opportunity, and to assure you that I will be always in service of Blue Star and the whole humanity, as you teach us every day. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So here we'll do a closing prayer, centering prayer. As we close our session, one of gratitude. So let's center in that space of infinite being once again, with gratitude in our hearts. for the gift of knowledge. And we'll do the togetherness prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu. May we be protected together. Sahana Bhunaktu. May we be nourished together. Sahaviryam Karavavahe. May we be strengthened together. Tejas Vinavaditamastu. May our knowledge always be full of light. Ma Vidvishavahe. May we always be united in our highest self. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, everyone. So we see you tomorrow for our normal healing circle. And it is Be Well, Stay Well, the practices. So we'll have that session on tomorrow at 3 p.m. our time. And look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a blessed day. Namaskar.